Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about Trump and a person named John Ratcliffe and Trump's apparent new interest in him in what it might mean, because there's a lot of speculation about it right now. And it is speculation, but it's worth kind of diving into. There's a lot of interest from Trump world when it comes to what Ratcliffe may have told the grand jury and Smith. There's discovery requests and stuff like that that demonstrate this, that kind of frame that up for us. So, Ratcliffe is the former Director of National Intelligence. Okay? And if you think back to the committees, sure, there's testimony that says that he was kind of an adult in the room. Like that he warned about the precedents it would set for our democracy, our elections, all of this stuff. That he was very much in the camp of, you've got to stop when talking to Trump. And sure, I mean, that may be the interest. But there's another thing. Through the National Intelligence Council, Ratcliffe had a report made about whether or not any of Trump's claims were true, whether or not there was anything backing them up. Of course, the report says that there wasn't. It was presented to Trump on January 7th. But this might be the interest. There has been a lot of desire to show that Trump knew what he was saying was false prior to the 6th. At the same time, that report is from the 7th. Okay, so that doesn't help. Your boss ever ask you how it's going? If you're working on something for them. They ever just ask, hey, how's that project coming along? When are you going to be done? What have you found out so far? If a conversation like that occurred, let's say January 5th, January 4th, and Ratcliffe was like, yeah, well, I mean, we're still having to print it up, but the findings say that there was no fraud, that there was nothing like what you're saying. If a conversation like that occurred and that was relayed to the grand jury, that would be a real issue for the former president. Because this, again, we're not talking about somebody who is, part of the liberal media or whatever. We're talking about his director of national intelligence. If that person couldn't be trusted by Trump, or that person's advice was dismissed, it kind of shows a lot, right? That's my guess. That's why there's the sudden interest. It actually doesn't have to do with the fact that he was one of the people who was like, you got to stop. My guess is it's about this report. Not when it was presented, but maybe him talking about it along the way. And I would imagine that those conversations were noted somewhere. And it leads to a situation where the former president might have been informed by his director of national intelligence that what he was saying every night, what he was telling people, what he was tweeting about wasn't true. That would go a pretty long way when it comes to framing certain elements of the trial. So it's an interesting development. It's also worth noting, I think Ratcliffe actually used to be a U.S. attorney as well. Which means he would know what was important. Anyway, it's speculation. Okay? It is speculation at this point. There's a lot of people talking about it. This is worth noting. But remember, it is just speculation. It is just a thought. Y'all have a good day.